right, hello everybody. Welcome back to another stream. We're going to be doing something a little bit different today. Usually we're playing in one of my worlds, but today we're going to be doing a little bit of design work because there's a project that I've been sort of thinking about, and this is going to be a little bit of a preliminary design that may end up appearing somewhere at some point in the future. Or not. Depends on how tonight goes. We got a lot of people in the chat. We got Robin in the chat. We've got Sunburned Relic in the chat. Hello. And we've also got Jill here as well. Thank you for showing up, everybody. Super excited to have you here. We've also got Rockin' into Robin with 17 months of membership. That's amazing. I don't even know where the 17 months have gone. We've been streaming for quite a while now, pretty regularly for 17 months. So that's actually been surprising. It's like, oh, 17 months, what? Anyways, so tonight, what are we going to be working on? Well, over on the left here, you can see we've got sort of a preliminary design from a build. You may recognize it. I don't really show it off in videos too often, but this is the build that I use in my main world, my main survival world, to be able to get to the nether roof. And actually, this is incomplete. So you can see when I designed this, I didn't do the full building itself. I just did part of it, planning out some of the things that I was going to be able to do. But I really like some of the shapes on this build, and I thought we'd play around with it, try out some different blocks, try out a few different techniques, and basically take this and turn it into something new, but have basically the same footprint. So we've got the footprint over here for this build. You can see the interior structure is this, the exterior part right here. And I think that there are going to be some fun things that we can do with this to really take it to a different level. Now, one thing that we're going to do is we're going to get rid of all of the grass that's on the ground, because it is something that could get in the way if we don't. So let's just, right around here, just clear this up a little bit. What do we got down here? There we go. Okay. That's better. Now we don't have to worry about that getting in the way. Just a cleaner surface to work with. So what I like to do when I'm starting out with the build is I like using just some rather flat blocks that don't have a lot of texture on them. So light gray concrete I usually use a lot of, and white concrete, gray concrete, black concrete. Those are usually my 4 blocks that I use when I am sort of getting the blocks and different things out for a build. Obviously we've got a bunch of different tools that we can use to be able to work on the build. Axiom is one that's really useful, especially for doing different things with designs. So like this smear tool is really useful because you can, let's see if we can do that again. You can select a bunch of blocks, and then you can go ahead and increase the height of them, decrease the height. You can also end up making different types of angles with that. So that's just, it's a really useful tool. To be able to do that. You can also, let's see. There we go. You've got cloning, stacking. Stacking is very similar to the smear tool in that it, if you have different types of blocks, so let's say we were to do this, we could do the stack, and it keeps that same order for those blocks. So we're going to be making use of those types of tools. Of course, we could go into the full set of tools for Axiom, which you see here, which gives us a lot of different shapes that we'd be able to work with, different painting and texturing and all sorts of fun things. So we'll probably take a look at those as we go through. I think for the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to increase the height of our build to be a little bit more in line with what we have over here. So I think right here, we've got a default of 4. We're actually going to increase that to 5. That's 3, 4, 5. Should be 5. 1, 2, Yeah, there we go. We got Celebrity Sailboat. Hello and welcome. Glad you could make it. All right. The other thing that we're going to do is, now that that's there, we can increase our center point here. And I think for that, one thing that if we look at this, if we're critiquing the old design, Celebrity Sailboat with the 5 gift memberships. Thank you so much. Wow, that's so amazing. If we're critiquing this build, one thing I would say is that this middle section being shorter than this top section is probably not great. I think this should be taller or as tall as that. So we're going to not correct it, but we're going to do things differently over here so we get those proportions. So where this is 5, we're going to go up 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we can just see the offset down there, so I don't even need to count. Confirm that. And then we can select these here. And if we go up 10, what will that be? See, that's short. So let's go up 15. So we'll go up 5 more. Pick this up 15. Then we can go over here. That. Here. That there. That there. And 3. Okay. So we've essentially recreated that one, except with slightly different proportions that I think are actually going to be better overall. Let's see. Actually, even though, yeah, it's a good outline. Yeah, I like it. Which is why I want to be able to do more with it. So now that we've got this set up, I think we can take a look here. We do have something that I think sort of creates this idea that this section down here is taller than it is because we can see to here. So we're going to fill in this space. So that way we can get a better sense of the proportions that we're working with here. Otherwise, it's going to look off until we do. So essentially what these tools allow us to do is save a lot of time. We don't have to place so many blocks. We can place a lot really quick, which is good for our design work. Yeah, it's challenging on Bedrock because you got to pretty much have to place all of the blocks by hand. I used to do a lot of just wireframes when I was playing on Bedrock. All right. So yeah, now that we've done that, this section down here looks shorter, or it's more true to the size of it. And this one doesn't look quite so short because we've mixed that up a little bit. Now, one thing that I'm thinking about maybe testing, could we And I think this is one area where we might not be able to do this. Because well, maybe we can't. How's this gonna look? Oh, okay. So we could actually do this. We just have to... just play around with it a little bit. No. I don't think I like that. It might be because it's too large. If we were to come all the way out to here, there are times where there's nothing for it but to place in the actual blocks. Now, I think we could do something interesting if we have these here. So let's try that. Make sure we're ending up in the correct spot. There we go. And one more. Okay. See, now we're ending up with something just a little bit more interesting. We should probably fill in these spaces here too. I use this tool. Oh, messed up a little bit there. Okay. Yeah, like Lord of the Rings. Yeah. There's a lot of great building designs from Lord of the Rings. Spent many hours watching it. All right. So now the other thing that I'm thinking about is, do we want to try repeating sort of these things here, up here? And we could even do a steeper. We don't really have a lot of space to work with, and I don't know that we want it to be right on the edge. And I think that that's actually going to not work out. We may have to do a little bit something different up here. Isengard, and notice this. Virtual world problems. Yeah, building Isengard is great if that's what you're intending for, not so much if you're going for something different. All right, let's see. What I want to do is have something out here. I just don't quite know what. This is where we can have some I think we save that and we come up to the top. At the top, we may be able to work on something up here that can then be used down below. So, all right. Let's see. I like to use domes, but we use a lot of domes. So maybe we should try to come up with something not a dome. We could keep our angle design going here. If we were to go in and up, maybe we do that. 9. Now, you start getting 2 different angles, things become a little strange. We can... No! No! I lost it. Oh. Let's go up to 9. 3. One more. 2. 4. Okay. Okay. Ah, placed this in the wrong spot. All right. That's fine. It's fine. We can fix this. There we go. Okay, now. That one, that one, that one. That. I think what we'll do is let's get rid of those. Let's see what happens when we rotate this. And then that would actually be one in the center there. That's just basically a cone, so nothing really interesting. All right. Sometimes that just happens. Clear it. Start over. Maybe what we need to do is work with a different color here for a second. Something I've done before, putting around a border here. This is going to be just a nice way to give ourselves a little bit more room to work with, I think. We could also think about whether we would want something here. That's too much. Don't know what we're going to do with those. Those might be stairs. Those might be full blocks. We'll find out. It's a mystery. All right. Now, we could do... And then if we... I know this is looking like a dome, but we're going to do something with this. If we were to, am I just playing and practicing, or will this be coming to the world? That's a good question. I would say there's probably about an 80% chance that we will see this somewhere at some point. No. This will be coming to the world, or a similar type structure. We're definitely going to be more of these towers are going to be popping up in the world. Won't reveal exactly what they're going to be for, but yes, they will come up. I've been thinking about this recently, and it was like, it's an idea that it's probably going to take a little bit of time before we get to it. I don't know that I'm going to be doing it sort of within the next month or so, but it's definitely going to be coming up into a world. So, but I want to play it around with this design. I don't want them to all be this exact thing. So this is sort of our first step of what can we make this look like? So I'm actually thinking that we could do something like this, but we're not going to fill in this space. We're going, maybe we have something hang down here. And we'll make something interesting, but this is just sort of a placeholder. Sure, have it. A bit like that. Let's go back to here. Maybe if we use these. And this is made. Maybe we're just doing it wrong. That might just be it. Maybe we're just doing it wrong. Also not it. Of course, we could do our border here. We do the border here. we can not necessarily, yeah, this is put this down here to some extent. That's not quite far enough. And then that's, maybe that's going to be like that. Maybe. It looks a little space agey. I don't think we're gonna keep these ones down here. All right. What else could we do there? It might have to just wait till we start adding in the details that we do figure out what we're going to do on those. But I think what we can do is we can start, speaking of details, we can start adding in the details. We gotta think about our block choices though. We've got a lot of different block choices. We could do our classics. Do I have? Oh, I do have. Only one. Okay. Flipping through the different presets that I've got. All right. Let's look through our options here. I mean, since I've built the one, it looks like a rocket. Yes, it does kind of look like a rocket. We're gonna have to see about that. I mean, we've got our we're looking at our brick types. We've got, of course, the 4 there. We have some of our other choices. We should probably do that in the reverse order there. Don't know that that necessarily goes like that. I'm not going to be using them all together. Let's see. We're thinking central block types. I mean, stone, sort of not really, because, oh, interesting. We've used the stone over there, so I think that's probably out. Is the combo of Deep Slate and Cinnabar? Yeah, Deep Slate and Cinnabar is a great choice. We've recently used that, in fact, over in the hardcore world. mud and cinnabar is actually these two right here. Pretty interesting. Plus they're fun. Got fun sounds to place them. I think the question is, do we want to go super dark or do we want to go really colorful? That's what we got to try to figure out. It's interesting too. Endstone looks very pale next to the sulfur blocks. But let's see. Depends on how creative do we want to get. I feel like we should do you know, mud is something that we haven't packed mud and the mud bricks. That's something we don't use a lot of. So maybe we do use this combination because we can also do the experimented with this before. We've got these combinations here for different colors. Of course, we've also got this as well. How does this look? Where does that fit in there? Does that fit in there? A little bit. A little bit right there. Okay. Ooh, that's so dark. Well, put those two there. Don't know that we'll use those. Get all our options out on the table. Maybe we've got this in the wrong order. That's our problem. We need to be doing this. So let's see. Okay. There's a couple different ways that we could texture this. We have our tools here. If we were to do, let's do this. I don't know if we're going to do this, but let's go here. We could do, let's also add our mask just so that we're not getting everything. I mean, this is one way. We need to put just a little bit more like that, or no. That's going to be one way of texturing it, but I think that that's overdoing it on the spruce. The other way that we can do it is going to give us a little bit more control, and essentially we can do it like this. So we're just sort of painting along here. Switching out our blocks. Although I think actually, now that I think about it, we're going to want a little bit more. Oh, not there. That was a misclick. Back to mud. Okay. We do need to put a little bit more variation here, I think. We don't have a lot of space to be able to work with. I think we gotta a little bit more though. Like that. I want to do that. What about the red nether brick? Ooh, yeah. The red nether brick is a good option too. Put that out there. Let's see. You know, I'm actually thinking... Oh. I'm thinking, I don't know that I like the spruce wood. So... Surprising. Let's try this again. We're gonna do it without the spruce wood. Maybe what we'll do, actually, maybe what we're doing is we're going about this the wrong way. So, if we were to do, ooh, jungle wood. Great idea. Let's try that. Is jungle wood better? It's brighter. Do we put it on this end? I think that's... Yeah, jungle wood works. But it is brighter, so... Okay, great idea. Thanks, Robin. Jungle wood. Oh, actually, even better. Would this be better? Oh, no. No. I think that's better. Okay. Yeah. Okay. What I'm thinking is this. I'm gonna not necessarily use the gradient in the way that we were using it. We're going to do something a little bit more splotchy. Tend to use that a lot when we're streaming. All right. Yeah. Of course, we do need to do a little bit of finessing with this. Otherwise, it's going to look a little bit too uniform. better. Okay. I like that. What if we were to do... The answer is no. I'm not going to do it that way. Just replacing these. Might have been better to use a different color for the surface. That's fine. So this is going to be our testing phase. We're not going to go all the way around with that. We're going to wait till we work out the details. I do like how we have these blocks here. So we're going to do something similar. But let's see, with our blocks here, we're going to do we'll have to think about whether we want to do it exactly that way or do we want to try it differently. The other idea, do we get some deep slate? If we were to go, you know, I mean that could be good. We're not going to discount that yet. File that one away as a possibility. Maybe not down here, but somewhere. Yeah, no, I think actually we could. I'm gonna do that. But we don't want to go necessarily all the way up. Do we? Okay. Do we do go up? Let's grab our other blocks. Now, option 2. That's very bright. Let's not forget our mangrove wood. We can use that. No. This is a little bit out there. Let's just see. Or Didn't someone mention nether brick? Oh yes, someone did mention nether brick. We got well, we've got the red. That's very dark. Or got the dark. But what I was thinking, that. Now, what if we did that? That has potential. All right, let's get a few more of these. Two. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know that I've used quartz in a build before. This could be a first. Yeah, it does make a statement. We could also, I'm just thinking if we want to, how we want to do this. All right. How did we? That's how we did it. It's just one. Okay. We do it there. No, it would be this one here. No. There we go. There we go. Okay. I think the thing is we could yeah. Shelves work. Oops. There. There and there. Okay. I mean, we could put any type of block behind these shelves. You don't need to use the netherrack, but netherrack is cheap. All right. Now I'm thinking down over here, we've got these slabs. I don't know that we're going to keep those slabs here. I think having that separate is good. Yeah. Okay. So now we just gotta repeat all over. Let's get our that was very much a square. All right. Fill in the spaces around. Okay. just kind of getting just a few little blocks placed in. There we are. Good. 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 Okay. Now. I think we could just do this. At least for the corners. And then we can also do that with these. Just keeping them. Oh. There. I think that's right. New. It is. Yeah. It's a useful tool. Very useful. The one thing that I try to do whenever I'm doing this is getting the is not using that when it's high. There's a lot of texture in it, so that's why I'm using it for sort of these little decorative pieces as opposed to copying this whole section and then just rotating that around, because I could do that, but then the texture of the wall, the background wall, would all be the same. So I like to do the texturing, where I've recently, in the last year and a half, been doing more trying to keep the texturing so it's not just a copy paste. You have different textures in the background. I think that gives us our sort of base look foundation wise, but just like how we did sort of a change here with the blackstone and the quartz, I think over here we're going to also want to do something different across the top, because this red and brown is a lot, and maybe that's where deep slate can come in. Maybe we don't use deep slate bricks. Could use polished deep slate maybe. That might be. Except that that's very dark. would be a good color? Brown and red, green, maybe? I don't know that green's the right choice here. We go green with... Oh, I didn't want to do that. Okay, hold on. That. Deep slate. Well, actually, okay, let's... keep the green. Ooh, tough. Tough. All right. Deep Satan green on this side. Over here. Tough. Let's do... with... No. What is I don't think that's either. That's gonna work either. What would be another? I don't want to just use quartz again, because that's very repetitive. But white is also what it is. No. Let's think. What are some other types of blocks? Potentially concrete, or that's very close in color. Would that be better? Nope. Wouldn't. Okay. Yep. Oh, that's so bright. No. This is a little bit outside the usual. Huh. This may be weird. Not sure what this building is intended to be, but I'd try tough and leaf blocks. Maybe mangrove leaves. Ooh. Yeah. We can get some leaves in here too. I like the end stone, and let's get our mangrove slabs, because we're going to put... we have them. Oh, we have them there. That's where we've got that. Okay. Just... okay. There. We could get the mangrove leaves, which could depend on where we're building it, whether we keep those. I actually think I like the end stone of all the blocks. I would not have thought. Okay. I think we're coming up with something interesting here. I think we are. We'll see. It may be horrible. Right. Right. Okay, we've got... Okay. So as far as, replicating the design over on the left, I think we have, but I also think, yeah, thanks. I think we've come up with something that's similar, but also different. It's got its own spin on things. Of course, it helps that we've also got some blocks that we didn't have. We didn't have shelves when we did this. Actually, that's the only thing that we didn't have. We might not have had mangrove wood at that time either, but I have to go back and check. It was a while ago. All right. Before we get too far, we should probably get the rest in, going all the way around. So let's get our end stone placed in. All right, there we go. We'll do... Just a lot of slabs. Placing in our blocks here. Just going along. Oh, we forgot this side. How did I forget this side? So we've almost got the first, well, actually we don't almost have the first layer. We've got staircase to do, and we've got the ground to place in. But let's think about maybe tough. Maybe tough is what we use. Polish tough, polish deep slate. Going to be doing that center point. And we did do... I don't know. Actually, I did this sort of angle thing with the stairs when I did the final one. So we may not keep that, but let's just see. We have our stairs. Oops, over here. We could do alternating. That becomes very wide. So let's think about mixing things up here. And this is where we can do something even more different. If we are to too far away. So down there. All right. What I'm trying to decide here is whether we lower it a bit like that, or we make it something more substantial. And we could do this as that. Five wide is actually not that bad. It also makes it a bit more imposing. So if we had our stairs here. Not sure I'm actually accomplishing anything with this staircase. Okay. Let's go down. Make sure that this is hollow. Okay. Now, go back to our painting. Let's paint this up. Like that. Maybe we'll do a little bit over there. A little bit right there. Like that. And let's do... Okay, now maybe with these, well, first off, let's now we can, nope, not in here. We're going to get our brick walls. We could, something I'd like to use. Do we want those there? Or we use red nether brick. Let's do a compare of the two different ones. See which one we like better. I think we almost like the red better. Lion statues would be awesome on those. Yeah. Oh, lion statues. Yeah, that might not be enough space. I've never built a lion statue. Would be awesome though. If I could do it, I would. Okay. I think turn it. We need to do maybe yeah. Be surprised if that was enough space. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Like the nether brick. Yeah, the nether brick is good. I think the red nether brick works a little bit better. Works a little bit better with the other red. I'm thinking that we may do something different. If we were to get our trapdoors, right? Go a bit like that. Trapdoors. These are not trapdoors. Shelves. Shelves. I don't know why I said trapdoors. Ooh, oh, there we go. Okay. And then down here, what if we do dark oak? That's definitely not. It seemed like a good idea, but no. No. Let's just do our alternates. I'm almost thinking that the problem is the walls. So let's do full blocks instead. How does that look? Ooh, that's very big. Maybe our issue is not that we're using walls, but we need to be a bit better with them. And then, yeah. Do we like having shelves or not? And I do think that the shelves work better with our walls in the corners. And now we just need to do something with the top. So if we were to do that, potentially not. Large. That is very dark. It very much blends in. Does this look ridiculous? All right, I think we're getting somewhere up here. Maybe. I may be just out of it. Who knows? We don't know. All right, let's see. We were to give ourselves some flames up here. There we go. I think. That's what I think. I think about things. One other thing we could try. Hadn't thought about that. Oh. I just thought of something. What about? We might be forcing things a little bit with this, but might be worth it. We might need to put them in a few more places though. Let's just give this a try. See what we think about it. Because what I'm thinking is that if we were to... Oh no, I didn't want to replace. Didn't want to replace. These in. That helps to bring it in to the rest of the build. I think I like it. I think this adds something. Well, obviously it adds something because we're adding something, but I think it actually helps. The stairs are now the problem. I don't think that the stairs are working. Gotta do something different there. But yeah. Okay. Yes. I think it works. Okay. But now the staircase. What are we going to do with this staircase? This is not... It's not fitting with the rest of what we've got. But I don't really want to repeat the other blocks that we're already using either. So let's look at some stairs. What do we got? Now, maybe this is where we use jungle stairs. Oh, of course, of course. This could be interesting. So if we were to do, when in doubt, go with copper, is what we're learning. Well, now that's not where we want that to go. Okay. No. Maybe that's not what we're learning. Copper has failed us. Okay. Oh. I was trying to figure out where that came from. I'll replace this. Don't want them. Maybe we go back to this in the middle. I think we may have to put some red in there. That might be what's missing. I think that's what was missing. What if we do... Cinnabar to really do something different. Or we like this better. Mustard and ketchup. I don't know if any of these are better or if we're just changing them out for one bad design after another. I feel like we're just changing it out for one bad design after another. Let's leave that for a second. We'll get our entrances or staircase railing things built up for all of the other ones. Oh, well, that's not what we wanted. Right, let's go 5, 10. Is that how many we did? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4. And then the square. One, two, three, 4. Okay, that's what we want. Yep, we did it. Gotta do that. There we go. And we just do a little bit of that. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh no, not that much. As I then replace it with that much. Okay. We'll finesse it a little bit, make it look good. Just around, getting in all the different spaces. All right. There we go. Oh, stairs. Stairs are so bad. That, grab that, and grab that. Okay. So we go there, there. It's funny how quickly you can build things once you know what you're doing. The planning part, not so quick. Still got a lot to go with the big tower in the background. Going to need to take advantage of all of the little things that we've been working on down here when we're going to be putting it up there. I have to think about that. All right, there's that. Now, there. Actually, I should have these first. Oh well, we can add them in. Wonder actually if we should do that. That would probably be good. The other option that we have is to not do the stairs. Now that I'm thinking about it, we could have a door right there instead of stairs. That might be an option to think about. All right. We got our foundation in. Now we just gotta do the rest of the tower. How do we want to get this decorated? We're going to be using the mud bricks for it. I'm just trying to think if there's maybe a... We want to continue doing the coloring the same way, or do we want to mix it up a little bit? Let's go ahead, get ourselves the bricks, and we're gonna do our little splotching. I wonder, we actually probably need to take this down. This is gonna give us greater control. We can do a more customized look to that. We do it this way. That's a little bit better. And then I think the other one that we're going to add in here is our mushroom. And we're going to do this the same as the bricks, but we'll do it like that. And then we can do the packed mud around it. Of course, I have... Just thinking, you know, this means I also need to go out and would need to collect all of these brown mushroom blocks. Which is doable, but... Okay. Now we're good for packed mud. And now increase this. For the ground area, we're going to, or the floor, we're going to be replacing that anyways. So it's okay if we get the packed mud there. That's not going to stay the same. But I think we're actually, I like this splotching. Okay. Yeah. Yep. I think that's good. Now, for these little, I don't know what these are called. Fins? We'll call them fins. I think we use our copper bars here. And we could put in our walls down at the base. Maybe use our mangrove slabs, which we could either do in this sort of V-shaped. I think we have to do it back here too. So this is the one area where it might not look quite perfect, but yeah. Okay. I think I like that. Go ahead, get that put in. Over there. Just continuing to check it. Now, with the red and green, we're getting a little Christmassy, but maybe that's okay. All right, there we are. 3 down. 1 more to go as soon as we finish placing these in. And there we are. Slabs. And those are good. That staircase is such a mess. I do like the slabs on top of the fence. Oh, good. Yeah. I was worried about those. Wasn't sure if we're gonna like those or not, but all right. Now, we've got our doorway here. This is where we're going to come in at. Should we make it taller? Maybe. Now could we do this? Maybe it goes. I don't like it. I think it's because the arch is weird. Gotta make the arch not look weird. And the way to do that, potentially, you like the staircase? Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you like the staircase. Because I'm a little iffy on it, but yeah. Glad you like it. Just like I'm kind of iffy on this doorway. I think it's because it's deep slate. We gotta... Maybe we need to use the red. Maybe we need to use the cinnabar. Embrace the cinnabar. This is what we're learning. Or... I think we also need to, not that one. Is there a doorway? Ooh, that's... Ah. Put something behind here. Do we continue our end stone? We do. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. There's that. There's that. There's that. And then okay, so we've got our doorway all set, maybe. And we've got our side towers. I'm just looking at the side towers, trying to think how we want to do those. We may pull some of these in, just like what we did there. So if we were to do that, we got these along the top. And we've got that. Now, that would put that right there. Yep. We can still do these on the sides. But where we have questions would be what to do here, because we could not carry that all the way down. Those could just be sort of the top portion. But we could also then, we could do shelves there. So these are just the decorative tops of these pillars. That would be one option. We could also then, at the bottom, do that. Maybe. I'm not sold on that idea. Option 2. In some ways, I think adding in more quartz is less impactful. So let's do this. And then let's do mangrove. What if we do, well, if I could spell, we might have something. All right, if we were to go and no. Seemed like a good idea. Is it gonna be a decorative building or have something in it? It's gonna have something in it. It's gonna be functional, but it's also decorative too. But yeah, the purpose is for it to have something in it. could. I think I'm trying too hard. I think we go back to what we had before, which was nothing down here. Sometimes simple is better. So if we were to come up, let's also get yeah. It's a lot cleaner. All right. And maybe what we need is just the top portion. Maybe that's what it's missing. And once we get the top portion in, might look more complete. So although we were also thinking about changing it up here. So this might not be... oh, no. There we go. Kind of like it. Almost makes it stick out a little bit more. Well, not almost. It does make it stick out a little bit more. Okay. So we'll just... Well, if I could place in these stairs... Alright. Hello, Gaming Granny. Welcome. Glad you can make it. Nope. Okay. There we go. And then we can do our quartz all the way. And then shelves. So many shelves. Going to take a lot of wood if we were to build this. There we go. That's good. And then we can do around and around. Very repetitive, but it's going to give us the best idea of how this is going to look if we put everything in all at once. Okay. Yep. We're getting there. Slowly, little by little. And I think what we want to do now over here, we did some patterns into the tower. On this one, I think what we want to do is we could do something here. Actually, let's go down. Maybe we go down 10. All right, and we grab our mud stairs. So we could do this and this, 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 and that, and that. And maybe we... a little something there. And we're gonna get this added in. So there, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got weird things happening with the lighting inside. Huh. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Okay. There. Okay. For these, what could be in there? I think we're going to stick with the red. We could do something a bit. We do these here, these here. And we could do that, maybe. And get out. I don't think that the mangrove wood adds anything. We could switch it out. 4, is bright enough. Ooh, that's very bright. Maybe we just go. Just like that. All right. There. And we're back to having lighting issues. All right. I'm wondering here how we incorporate our little structure on the top with what we've sort of got going on down here. And what we're going to make it out of. This is going to be the tricky part. Yeah. Maybe we use our cinnabar for that. And we use, I wonder if we use it without the bricks. Well, first, let's just make it easy on ourselves. Okay. And then we can go through and we can put a little bit something extra. It's too thick up here. We do. That is better. And maybe we go ahead and okay. Think that that's better. Let's grab it. Let's get that placed. Oh, we need to do one more. Okay. We've got to get some more of this in here. Could we go there? Okay. Just trying a little bit of everything over here. see. See how we do. All the different options. All right. That's all right. And then we do okay. What I wonder too is if we were, yeah, to just bring these down. That carries across our little line of green blocks. Yeah. Okay. We need to do whatever our hanging object is going to be in here. Get ourselves some grindstones. Do the classic alternating pattern. And maybe we do just that wall. Here's... Do we use blackstone? I think we do. Maybe we use deep slate. And more deep. Do something basic for now, and then we can do all right. Oh, that it takes up almost the whole space, but not quite. We needed to actually lower this by 1 block so that this one here, sticking out. So let's do that. Okay. All right. Well, I think that's roughly what we could end up doing. Might need to do a little bit more work at the top. And there's also a question about the stairs. I think stairs are fine. Maybe if we get them in all of the spots. Go. There's that one. And there is that. Okay. But yeah, very red, very brown. And I think potentially it would look like it does look different. Is it a whimsical building or serious? Well, it's essentially just to hold another portal is what it is. That's all it is a building for another portal. So I don't know if that makes it whimsical or serious or somewhere in between. I might put it right in the middle. I think what we need to do, what it's missing is it's missing something here. Ominously whimsical. Yeah, there you go. Ominous. I can't even say it now. All right. What if, just quickly, I want to see. And then okay. Does have a bit of ominous to it. It does have a bit of ominous to it. That's true. Not a lot of whimsy, but this is not the only variation. So we're going to be doing more variation with this. There may be multiple of these going up. And I say there may be, I'm pretty sure there will be. Or I know there will be. I can't help it. I just have to tinker with this a little bit more. There's just... Pop is not quite... Yeah, blue flame aura. Yeah, there we go. I think that that's actually better. Bring some of the darker red up. We could also probably get our... railing in place. How's that look? Yep. There we go. Wouldn't be a FoxFoil. Yeah. Just can't leave well enough alone. Gotta do a little bit extra. Ominous Girl Scouts, yeah. Okay. There we go. I think that that's a lot better. Yes. Okay. It's a little bit bigger, but not massively bigger. I want it to look like the same people who built this one. It's just done differently to match where it's going to go. That's sort of the overarching thought process behind the different variations. So it's got to be in line with each other. But I think we came up with something good here. I might work on it a little bit more before I actually put it into the world, but I'd say this is probably about 90%. 90%? I think that's good. We still got a few things to do to it. Yeah, I like it. All right. But I think that's where we're going to leave things for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by the stream. All the suggestions, I appreciate it. Thanks, Robin. Thanks, Celebrity Sailboat, Gaming Granny, Sunbird Relic. Let's see, who else we had? We had James as well. Thank you, everyone. It was a fun stream. I enjoyed it. We will have another one on Wednesday, I'm pretty sure. Got some more fun things that we're going to be doing. And until then, thank you, everyone. Enjoy your night. We will see you all next time.